Good evening, Des Moines, Iowa, and the world. Welcome to the Doc and Lefty program, broadcasting to you from the webcast1live.com studios and also on docandlefty.com. Basically, we've got all the .coms covered. This is Lefty. As always, we're bringing the perspectives that you love from the sides you hate and across the table back together again. 1 week is both too long and too short. Dr. Patrick Petrosh. Doc, how is it going this evening?
You know, it's going very well. You know, it's kind of like, you know, the more you're separate, the more you miss the other person. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't happen here.
Yeah, I can honestly say that I thought about you 3 times in the last week.
Yeah, what was it about? Did you pass by a barbecue place or something?
No.
All right.
No. Well, no, when I saw the coverage of the roast ride, I thought about you.
Okay.
Because I was hoping that you didn't get run off the road by some kind of, faux motorcycle riding journalist of some kind.
There's a lot of those, surprisingly.
Right. And 2, when we were figuring out what we're going to talk about today.
Oh, well, good. Well, you know.
And then every night before I go to sleep.
You did know that I was on the Jon Stewart show. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah. My handsome face right out there meeting Scott Walker. This big old beard, prominent. I'll be honest. All these guys are in good shape. Mm-hmm. They're not like us, but I look like a Yeti compared to Scott Walker. He's a good looking guy, and I'm like, "Hi, how you doing? I'm a Yeti." So anyway, that was pretty fun and
fantastic.
And you know what? You know how often I ever watch Jon Stewart?
How often?
Never.
Oh.
And the TV happened to be on. And I thought, he's covering the roast and ride. I'll just sit here and watch it. Mm-hmm. I'm watching a minute. And boom, I'm like, and then our friend of the show, Phaedra, says on Facebook, was that you? I'm like, I think it was. So then I had to rewind it. So then I had to TiVo it. I'm showing everybody else.
Spectacular. Spectacular. Yeah, I didn't think that he poked the roast and ride too hard.
He could have poked. Well, the problem is I think he poked it pretty hard. I think he took a big swipe at Iowans about down home, the way we talk and everything.
Well,
else.
He talked. He made fun of the media for making fun of that more often than anything else.
Yeah, all right, I'll give him that. But I got a bee in my bonnet last week about it. You can ask Maddie. Did you miss Maddie at all?
Oh, of course I did.
Oh, yeah. See, Maddie's the only one in the show we ever miss.
I know. Well, she's the only one that makes it possible.
Yes.
Because this stuff that we do right here, we could do this literally anywhere at any time and have just as much of an impact.
Yes. Hold on. That's not true.
But Maddie is the one that makes it possible.
Yes. She makes it possible. But it is true. Joey says, my brother says that he missed you.
Oh, well, that's good.
Well, so he's got some built-up hate. I'm anticipating this week. So he bring it on.
He missed me like he misses lancing that boil because it's painful, but once you do it, it feels so great.
Oh man, yeah. Well, at least he's honest. So anyway, and you know what? I had to do the show last week without my invisible glasses. You know why? Because I lost them.
Oh man.
You know why I lost them?
Why'd you lose them?
Because they're invisible. So I have yet to find them today, but miraculously I can see a lot of things pretty good if I do that.
Oh, good. Well, I'll say this: last week was it was a rare week off for me. I'm ready to go. There's a bunch of interesting things that have happened on the Republican side of the ledger. We're going to talk about a couple of things that are happening on the Democratic side of the ledger. But I gotta say, I'm riding for Trump 2016. 100%. Trump and me, he is going to take over your half of the show. And probably my half of the show too. And Maddie's half of the show. That makes 3 halves. Donald Trump can do it all. I don't know.
Out of the 3 of us, who do you think would get fired on his show? I mean, out of the 3 of us, who would get fired first?
Out of the 3 of us? Oh man.
See, I'm not sure. Because I'm so mouthy.
Yep.
And I disrespect authority so much. I'm not sure I'd last. But you're a lefty, so
I know.
We're neck and neck there.
You'd make good TV.
I would make good TV.
You'd make good TV. I'm boring and also a liberal. So I don't know. I'm short for the world.
Well, what do you think, Matt? Do you think you could survive on The Apprentice for a while? So, no? She says no.
Yeah.
So, because she's just back there, she basically ignores what we say. She just kind of like, What happens is when she hears the tenor change,
yeah,
she flicks the thing. I don't think she actually pays attention.
Well, and that just goes to show how distinct and disparate our viewpoints actually are. That she can. Anyway, you know what?
We're also going to have a new segment.
Oh,
and I'm hoping it'll be a success.
Okay.
And that is the fun-hating liberal section. Because one of the things that struck me as I was preparing for last week's show, all the goofy stories on there about how liberals ruin stuff that's fun. And I'm like, well, what's wrong here?
I'm going to have a rebuttal prepared for that. It's going to be pretty definitive at the end of the show. So looking forward to that, but we're going to definitely talk about, I want to talk about Donald Trump, obviously, because he's the next guy up. But we also need to talk about the other big thing that happened, which was the Republicans deciding not to have the straw poll this year. I think,
you know what? I forgot to put that in our thing.
I think that's a fairly big deal that needs to, we got to probably talk about that in the next segment. Then we're going to get into this whole NAACP thing in Spokane, Washington. So I got some thoughts about Rachel Dolezal identity and all the business about who's really worked up, who should be worked up, and why all that's going down. And then you wanted to talk about another issue with the Clinton campaign that has got doesn't have legs yet, but it probably will. Knowing how folks talk about Hillary Clinton, this one's probably going to get started here in the next couple of days, and that's the issue with some unpaid volunteers, interns that have a lot of political experience that are not drawing a paycheck yet, and why that's good, why that's bad, and why that's mostly probably bad. And then let's talk about why liberals don't like to have any fun. I know that I don't, and
they don't like anyone to have fun. Right? They want everybody to be very serious. And,
right. No, I think that's...
and you agree with that?
I agree with that 100%. That's why most of the stand-up comedians are conservative. But anyway...
Because they don't like having fun. Because if you're liberal, making fun of conservatives, that's okay. If you're a conservative making fun of liberals, then that's a different standard.
Well, good. I mean, I would just hazard to guess that it's because conservatives making fun of liberals it's harder. It's harder. It's a lot harder to make fun. If you, for example, no one said to a comedian, "Boy, I bet you're going to miss Barack Obama."
But a lot of people have said,
yes,
"Boy, you're going to miss Bush."
Yes, you did. So anyway,
I can't believe it.
go ahead.
Jen said, "Hey, listen, what's the topics for today?" I went ahead and did it because it's been crazy. It'll just be easier.
Yep.
She goes, "Okay." So I forget to put the Iowa straw poll in there.
Yeah.
Well, what a moron. That's why we have her.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll be back right after this break. Want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening to us. We're going to start off. We're starting off with the straw poll or Donald Trump.
Let's talk. Well, we can roll them into one because
all right, we'll roll them into one. With Donald Trump and the straw poll. I want to thank all of our sponsors who support us week in and week out. Bertrosian Associates, Lubinas Law Firm. I think we need to start charging Lubinas Law Firm more for their advertising.
Yeah, so, we probably do.
And then Halo Capital at Des Moines Interest Rates. Also, Des Moines Anesthesia, our longest and most loyal advertiser at 515-574-6442. Follow us at Facebook and Twitter and docandlefty.com. And there's something called Yelp on Must Be Years Behind. And go out there and say something nice about us. We'll be back right after this break.